Sports. We like sports and we
Quack,
don't care. Who knows?
quack, 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 quack. No, that one. All right.
It's too late. Too late.
God damn it. Welcome to week 14 of Pound the Walk podcast, baby. Let's get it.
Pound it, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Comment your favorite fullback in NFL history.
There's only one real answer for that.
Who?
Mike.
Mike Albright?
No, Allstott.
That's what I meant. Allstott. My bad. Mike Allstott from the Bucks. Yeah, but I would say Lorenzo Neal, dude. What are you talking about?
He was a great Raven.
Hell no. Hell no. I should get a jersey. Pound the Walk podcast, y'all. We are on week 14. We were just saying it's bittersweet, y'all. It's really bittersweet. The season is almost coming to an end. We're on that last lap. Obviously, playoffs ahead should be fun. But yeah, week 14. Week 13 was Thanksgiving week. It was a very interesting week. Couple games that were just ridiculous endings. Some good competitive ones, too.
Absolutely, and we'll go over those here shortly. But I do want to say, if I'd gotten one more pick right, I could have won $10,000.
Yeah. It wasn't the Saints game, right?
No, the Saints game is what started to worry me early. That's what made me cash out.
I was going to tell you not to, but...
Look, if I didn't pull out, I would have lost a whopping $5. Instead, I walked away with $500, all right?
Oh, yeah, that is ridiculous.
So it was 5 to 500, and if I stayed with it, one game would have ruined it either way. So I'll tell you, a dub's a dub.
I didn't even realize that, though. I didn't realize you made 500 off that. Jesus Christ, I must have just been out of it when you texted me that. I did say, I was like, yeah, a dub's a dub, dude. Hell yeah. Wait, why am I not making this a big deal? Pound the Walk podcast, dude. We're in the green.
We're back. We're back in the green.
Hell yeah.
So listen, y'all. Ride one of our lines, and if you have a spectacular 1 o'clock game outing, you could cash out at 4 o'clock and have $500, if not more. Maybe less, but still. But we have a good parlay for y'all tonight, so maybe this is a sign that we're gonna start kicking things off, the right direction.
I like it.
But let's go over these games that won me that 500.
Yeah.
Now coming into this.
Yeah, I was down 6.
6. I think you said 7 last week, but then I looked at it again, and I think it was 6 is right. So we were there, and I just kind of.
Yeah, you gotta get that. Yeah, I don't want the mole in there. Yeah, we're the mole. You got the mole mark.
We're gonna get up to the back of the spider here at the end of the season.
Nah, dude, I'm scared of spiders, dude. I'm scared of spiders, dude.
All right, now let's take a look at Week 13's results, and we ride from there.
Damn. We both did good.
Damn.
Yeah, since the...
You need to start putting some money down, I guess, to see if you can cash out, but I guess you lost a couple of the earlier games, too, though.
Oh, dude. So, yeah, I mean, 2-game swing again for you. You're up 8. But, yeah, I guess we'll just go through them real quick, right? I mean, Thursday...
Back in, baby.
Thursday... I'm trying to move on. Chicago at Detroit was
yes, sir.
A competitive game. I think Caleb Williams may have had one of his best games. Not even may have. He had one of his best games this season. But we all know what happened at the end of that. Jesus Christ. You can't blame Caleb Williams. There's a tree of organization. There's a guy standing on the sideline doing absolutely nothing at that time, and that's Matt Eberflus. He's a dumbass.
He's out of a job.
That's so unfortunate. Right after Thanksgiving, I feel bad for the guy. Hard Knocks made you like him, made you feel for the guy. But damn, what a dumbass! That's so.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid. Yeah. I love Matt Eberflus. He was a great DC for Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
He turned it around, cultural wise, in Indy. We had one of the worst defenses, and he gave us a decent defense over the stretch of those years. So, hate to see it, but that was pretty stupid.
Very unfortunate.
But that swung in Detroit's favor. They got another dub, but big shout out though to Caleb Williams. He did look good. He's really starting to come into form, and it's just unfortunate that's the result he got for such a good playing experience.
Yeah, I can see them competing these next few weeks to end the season. But I don't know. Playoff pictures is very, very, very slim for them. But
not looking good, no sir. Then we had
Yeah.
New York at Dallas.
Yeah.
Another Thanksgiving tradition. We got Dallas out there. Um, Dallas got the dub. Was not a pretty game to say, nonetheless. But
Yeah.
now their team's really that good, so could have gone either way. But it swung
Yeah.
in Dallas's favor a little
Yeah,
bit.
Dallas is rolling, I guess. They're on like a 2 or 3 game win streak. But yeah, the Giants really couldn't get it rolling. Drew Lock, I expected more out of him. He's had a good amount of starts now under his belt, but yeah, they just couldn't get anything rolling. And I think Rico Dowdle had a very good game, which is I guess the most standout thing about that. But it was,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Happy with the
He
middle game.
hit over 100.
Yeah.
But look, Dallas plays Thanksgiving every year, so slight edge in their favor, and they got the dub.
Yep.
All right, and then we had Miami at Green Bay. I think it was a pretty chilly game. Yeah, I mean it was a good game to watch.
Yeah.
It's Green Bay's red hot right now. Miami's starting to bounce back. Tua looked good though. He had a decent game. Not much running, I don't think, in that game, but there a lot of air. But great game to watch, man.
Yeah, I mean, A-Chain's a talented back, and I mean, that being said, Green Bay's defense has been rolling, man. Their run defense has been looking really solid. We'll get to see
They
them
look good.
tonight.
They look good.
Yeah, and
but,
Jaden Reed
another
balling
good win
out.
for Johnny Smith.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Jonnu Smith, I think he's also like on a contract year, so it'll be exciting to see. Hopefully, he hits free agency. That man has been balling the last few weeks.
He would look great in one of these.
We need a tight end too, brother. That shit. Thank you.
We'll talk about our game here in a minute, but yeah, our tight ends
Yeah.
coaches. God
But speak of
damn.
crazy
All right,
ending, this next one, man,
yeah,
terrible.
Vegas at KC.
Yeah.
KC, again, they just win games that they don't deserve to win. Fucking Aiden O'Connell was slinging that rock out there,
Yeah, that last drive,
Brock
he
Bowers?
locked in. Yeah, Brock Bowers is insane. Speaking of great tight ends, I mean, he's like best in the league already. But yeah, Aiden O'Connell was slinging, especially in that last drive. And that's way more than the Detroit game. Like, man, what a terrible, terrible way to go out, dude. Yeah, very
Awful.
unfortunate. But yeah, fuck the Chiefs and the Raiders. So.
Yeah, yeah, that was bad. I don't.
Disgusting.
The,
They're the luckiest team ever. Probably ever.
yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have
Bolt up.
your boys.
Yeah, man. We one touchdown scored for us, and that was on our defense. That was our Tarheeb Steele from Maryland. He had 2 picks. We had 4 interceptions forced. Kirk Cousins did look really bad. I will say that. But our defense, another great. We came back after 2 weeks of playing good offenses and maybe letting up more than we wanted to, going back to playing our fundamental hold them down. And our offense needs to get rolling. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality behind it. But we're still winning games, and we're really virtually locked in for playoffs. Just excited to see them, man. And Atlanta, eventually, I mean, they're still competing to try to get a spot, but you expect to see Michael Penix here soon, right?
You would think so at this point, right? I mean, it's the Kirko chains is just has been inconsistent. He's shown certain games, where I thought there was gonna be greatness. It's hard not to like the guy, but he's just so inconsistent, and he's just not getting things starting there. So, why don't you let Penix swing a little bit and see how it goes from there? Maybe it's just getting them ready for next year or whatnot. But incredible defense, though. All those interceptions, like you said, one for a tutty. Y'all looked like the Chargers that you're supposed to be.
Yeah, Derwin James, man, had one of his best games of his career. I mean, definitely of the season.
Absolutely.
He was just everywhere, man,
Absolutely.
and he finished off with a pick. So great game, Bolts up, baby. We're what,
Beautiful.
8-4, something like that. So yeah,
You're locking yourselves in if you guys keep on this path.
yes, sir.
All right, first disparity here.
I shouldn't have done it.
Pittsburgh at Cincy.
I shouldn't have done it. But I mean, do you see my vision? You saw how the game played out. Did you see my vision? Right? Like,
It could have gone either way. So I don't think either choice was a bad one. Mine was just a better one.
yeah, Russell Wilson. He is the main reason I was wrong about Russell. I thought he was starting to kind of get more stagnant. This last couple weeks. especially coming off
He's
that
got a
loss.
lot left in the tank.
Dude, that man threw for like almost damn near 500 yards. Like he's a
Yep.
beast. So shout out
He hasn't
Russell.
he hasn't thrown it for over 400 in like 1,700 days or something, and then he came out looking like that.
Yeah.
He's got a lot left in that tank. So yeah, shout out Russell. Cincy, it's not their offense, dude. I mean, it's everything but.
Yeah.
You can't blame Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase. I mean, they're doing their job. It's the defense is just letting up everything in the world.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers. I mean this is more so than the Steelers defense because you don't see this a lot with the Bengals this year at least. But Burrow wasn't getting protected. He fumbled the ball. There's things like that, but like you got to protect the ball. But yeah, you're not going to win with your defense letting up 40 something points. Like Jesus Christ, no.
No, but I mean, look, Detroit, for example, they can throw 5 picks, right, and still
Yeah,
come out and win the game.
exactly,
So if
exactly.
you have a solid defense and an explosive offense,
Yeah,
you can make mistakes. With Cincy, their defense is playing so poorly,
mhm.
and there's just not clicking when they need to. That one fumble can really turn the game for you, and can't have that.
It's like the least. That's like the worst complimentary football of the whole league right now is the Bengals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Moving on, got that mole in there from this one here. We had Arizona, Minnesota.
Okay, keep going.
Arizona at Minnesota. Minnesota
Oh,
gets the
dude,
job
this
done.
game, dude, Arizona should have won. My bad to cut you off again.
That was another one that almost made me
Damn, dude.
piss me off on that parlay. This was a very stressful week
Yeah,
with
great
how
game.
close a lot of these games were. But yeah, I mean, Minnesota. I mean, Arizona's they can be an explosive offense, and Minnesota just did barely enough on that last drive to get the job done. The Cardinals were actually holding Jettas in
Mhm.
check for most of the game in just the last quarter, maybe last 2 minutes. He started turning it up
Yeah.
and did what they had to do.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to
Uh,
Minnesota. I mean, they're playing great. They're playing great, complete, complementary football. I mean, but Arizona is man. They're really competitive too. They should have. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, the Vikings did what they had to do at the very down end stretch of the game, and came out with that dub. So shout out Minnesota.
that
They're
Aaron Jones tutty, man. That
yeah.
he had to atone for that fumble he lost earlier in the
Yep.
game, and that's exactly what he did. All right, another exciting game that had my blood pressure way,
Yeah.
way, way,
Great
way through the
game.
roof.
Great ending.
Uh, Indy at New England. Typically, that's not a good combo for Indianapolis, but this week we saw a different version of Anthony Richardson. There was a lot of drops from open tight ends, but he was relatively accurate this week. He was making the right calls, the RPOs. He was making right decisions, and he looked a lot more mature. He wasn't losing it every time he got a first down. Even when he scored that, game or the go ahead, not the go ahead, but the tying touchdown. He was dead set on the next play, man. He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
you guys
locked
really
in,
did
dude.
it too. You guys really, yeah, it seemed like you guys were super decisive on winning that game. It reminded me, not exactly, but it reminded me of like the Jets game we were at, like where he really had to lock in the fourth quarter, and he wasn't really passing the ball very consistently throughout that game, and it was like, all right, you got to lock in here. I don't know, yeah, it was a great win. Steichen, man, I love Shane Steichen, dude. The
It's
decision making is
fun to
there.
watch, man.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor had another solid game.
Hmm.
I think he has now passed Marshall Faulk for franchise rushing yards, which is awesome to see. But
Tough.
not to knock it on the Patriots. Drake May actually looked pretty decent. Hunter Henry was doing well until we tried to kill him. But hey, wins are wins, man, and my boys got it done.
Yeah, Colt up, baby. They are sniffing playoffs, man. I'm really rooting for y'all to get that spot. Next
Yeah,
game,
man.
next game was also another one that was a seesaw type game, but Seattle comes through and prevails. I was like, damn, are the Jets really about to just like stomp on Seattle here? I think they're up like 14-0 like in the very beginning of the game. And then Aaron Rodgers, it's just unfortunate, man. He just throwing like 50% completion percentage. Offense
He's
can't
throwing
get
it
rolling.
behind all the receivers. He's
Yeah.
not leading any of them, so they lose all that momentum. And they have to turn around. Either they miss the ball or
Yeah.
they catch it, and it's a gain of like 2 yards because they can't get it going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really concerned about this one early because the Jets actually started to look good, and excited for Aaron, and then he just started playing Aaron Rodgers football in the latter half, and Geno Smith got the job done.
Hmm.
JSN looked good as always, and shout out Seattle.
Yeah, I mean they just did what they had to do. Nothing, there was nothing like special. I mean, I would say like no one really stood out, but they just played complete football and won the game, and they were down 14 early. So I mean, shout out Seattle. They're the NFC West is anybody's still basically. So yeah, it's big.
All right, and then we had Tennessee at Washington. It was, I guess, a little more surprising than I thought because Washington had like 30 points on them early on, and then didn't score much until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You hate to see that, but they still stomped on Tennessee. I mean, regardless.
They absolutely did. I mean, they more than doubled them. I just didn't expect Tennessee to even really get on the board with how horrible they started playing. But maybe you get such a big lead, you don't put in 100%. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, Washington's pass defense has. I mean, even their run defense has been statistically really bad this year. I just noticed their pass defense has looked really, really bad, and the Titans sometimes can go vertical. And dude, the reason I bring that up is that dude Westbrook Akine. He has I
yeah,
think 9 touchdowns in 10 games, 8 touchdowns in the last 8 games, and he averages like probably like 3 targets a game, dude. I brought him up last week. He scored again.
yeah, he looked good. And that's actually who. If Nick had actually put him in, he would have beaten you this week
Oh
in
yeah,
fantasy football. But
playoffs are locked in that league, correct? Or is there
for
one
the
more week?
most part, I think there's one more week.
Oh, okay, okay.
I've clinched. I think you have a 1% chance.
Yes. I thought I was
Statistic.
out of it, which was stupid because I started off pretty strong, then I just kind of died out.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't make too many
unfortunate.
moves in that league. But yeah, whatever, whatever.
And we got Houston at Jacksonville. Rest in peace, Trevor Lawrence. That was a rough hit.
What do you think it was like extremely dirty, like worth 3 game suspension dirty? Do you think it was a justified
No,
suspension?
I don't know, man. It was also a late slide.
Yeah,
You know,
I think so.
quarterbacks can't be coming in and sliding at the last second. Like I understand giving yourself up sliding if there's
Yeah.
5-10 yards between,
At that
but
point,
waiting
put
till
a
the
shoulder
last
down,
second,
dude. At that point, put a goddamn
might as
shoulder
well.
down. Yeah, like protect yourself.
It's there's nothing to protect you, and your head is gonna bounce off that turf
Yeah,
a hundred
yeah.
percent of the time.
Dude,
So
it was a bad knockout. Like if he didn't get knocked out, none of this like he wouldn't get suspended 3 games either. You know what I mean? It just was. I think the NFL is so sloppy with these suspensions, and I'm a little more like they suspended Derwin James a game out of nowhere after one hit, and they're like, well, he's been doing it last year. Like you guys never fucking suspended him or like fined him like anything significant. They're just so random with it. And this dude's never been suspended
it's
before.
very arbitrary, and you look. I know he led with that forearm, which didn't look good, but like, what else you gonna? I'm not gonna throw your shoulder into this guy's head. The arm's gonna hurt a little less. So what do you? I
Yeah.
don't know. But it was shocking though. Towards the end of the game, Jacksonville was coming back to. They very much had a chance to turn it around.
Yeah, Brian
Um,
Thomas, dude. He should have had even a bigger game than he did, but he just flies down the field and they just chuck it to him, and I love it. I
yeah.
love it.
But shout out Nico Collins though. He was looking pretty good. Welcome back,
Hmm.
Nico.
Yeah, he needs to get in the end zone, man. Especially because I fucking put money on that. God dang.
Yeah, that
Good
makes
time.
even more of a difference, right?
Yeah, but he did ball. So yeah, Houston did what they
He
had to do.
looked
I
good.
mean, it was a fairly competitive game, surprisingly, with them, fucking putting a bounty on Trevor Lawrence. So Houston gets a big dub.
Big dub for them. Doug Peterson, man. How is? Anyways,
Yeah.
we had the Rams at New Orleans. This one started to worry me early. I mean, it was still a pretty close game at the end of the day. It was a one-score game. Um, Alvin Kamara starting to heat back up a little bit, but
Hmm.
the Rams did what they had to do, offensively, defensively. Like you said, that complementary football is more important than super explosive one way or the other. And Sean McVay, shout out.
Yeah, I think the Rams they can compete with just about anybody in the league. I mean, they're just
Yeah,
they're a good,
they look good.
well-ran organization, and then now that they're back to being healthy. Yeah, it's good to see, I guess. New Orleans, yeah, you're right. Alvin Kamara was balling, and also Taysom Hill's going to be, I think, out for the rest of the year, so expect Alvin
Yeah.
Kamara to get even more production. So
All right, this one was a little bit surprising, but maybe not. We had Tampa Bay at Carolina. Tampa Bay wins in overtime by 3 points. Bryce Young, though, he's looking good. He's looking real good.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Probably looking like I think someone. What was it? They're saying he looks like the best second-year quarterback, or is that an absurd statement right now? C.J. Stroud has not been playing good ball.
CJ's not been looking good, and if you're talking about overall improvement, CJ was looking awesome last year.
Yeah.
And he's very mediocre this year, so he's actually regressed a little. Bryce Young started off last year horrible, started off this season pretty bad, got benched, came back, and look at him. Anthony Richardson, he gets benched, come back. I don't know. I think it just kind of rattles them up, lets them know that, hey, you're absolutely replaceable. I don't care if you're our number one pick.
Yeah, and they're so young still too. Like that's like so ridiculous. As long as they're healthy, dude. The dude's like 21, 22 years old. So yeah, it's fine. Everything will be fine in Carolina. They just need to build around the dude. I think it can happen. Like Drew Brees was fucking 5'10" doing what he's doing, so it can happen. Like,
yeah, it's absolutely possible. And look, maybe against a slightly lesser team, Carolina gets a dub, but you have someone like Baker Mayfield who didn't play an amazing game.
Hey,
but,
Mike Evans though. Shout out Mike Evans back on track, balled out.
120 yards in there. Bucky
Early
Irving
touchdown.
looked incredible.
Yep.
Rashad White was looking good too. So look, where Baker didn't step up, other players did.
Yep.
And that's how you get those dubs. All right, and we both got the next one wrong.
Yeah. That kills you. You could have made $1 million.
$1 million, man.
We'd be podcasting in like some nice tropical island, I know.
In Aruba right now.
Fucking yeah, this was a big telling game, right? Like obviously we both assumed it differently. I think the biggest thing after this game is Derrick Henry and Saquon were great acquisitions. Saquon is just that much more better of an acquisition for this team. Like that Saquon is elevating the Eagles to more wins, and when they went head to head, he skyrocketed over Derrick Henry. So Saquon Barkley, Offensive Player of the Year, and my opinion on the Eagles is very different now. Very different.
Yeah, absolutely. And my opinion on the Ravens has also shifted a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta cut Tucker, dude. Cut Justin Tucker, or get another kicker. Keep him and get another kicker. There's no other team. If his name wasn't Justin Tucker, he wouldn't still be on the team. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Look, I think they're just keeping him around for loyalty, and just what he's done for the organization, which I can respect. But maybe bench the guy a week or two.
Someone else. See
if he's hurt. See if he just needs to sit out a couple of weeks and just come back revitalized. I don't know if you saw my text, but a lot of people are blaming
oh yes,
Taylor Swift Black Magic.
After, the playoff game, the championship game.
Where Kelsey had to throw his shit off the side where he was stretching, and then they were like, he hasn't kicked well since that game. So
it's got to be the yips, dude, right? Like, what's what they call it for the golfers, right? Like, there's no question that he's coming out there and he's just a split second at least, he's thinking to himself, like, don't fucking miss this, dude.
There's got to be something because, he's still relatively young.
You
see Adam Vinatieri kicking till he's 50, There's a lot of these kickers who I've watched since I was a kid, since I was in high school, and they're still around kicking it. So for someone as young as he is and as talented as he is, there's got to be just something not clicking in his head, or that split second, don't fuck up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually crazy to see, and I get it. He's like one of the greatest kickers of all time, if not the. People try to say that. Yeah, dude, it's insane. Vinatieri's the greatest kicker of all time, for being real, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, after what he did for New England and Indianapolis, there's no doubt.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
Cameron Dicker's the best kicker now. Just saying.
Dicker the kicker?
Hell yeah. But yeah, let's move on, because that was a great game. Shout out Philly. But then we had San Fran at Buffalo. Man, snow game, that was fun, but not very fun for San Fran, dude.
It was, I feel for CMC, man. Like, comes back after 3 weeks, 4 weeks or whatever, and then blows up his calf again.
Yeah, and it's a knee thing too now, right? A PCL or like the tendon, like patella or whatever, I think. Which sucks, dude. So yeah, everything about it sucks. All I can hope is Debo balls out for me in this playoff stretch for fantasy that I'm in.
There you go. But you can see what happens when a sunny California team comes to Buffalo in the height of winter there and a couple feet of snow. It's not good. Look, no one had explosive or massive numbers, I don't think, in this game. Josh Allen had a couple tutties. I think he
Oh,
caught his own
yeah,
touchdown
he
too.
threw a pass to Amari Cooper, like a hitch right in the red zone, in the goal line.
Yeah,
Amari got like was getting gang tackled and just flicked it to. It was not drawn up, dude. That shit was not drawn up. What a crazy
not at
play!
all.
I think that's the
It was
first time
great.
ever. That's the first time ever a quarterback threw a pass and got a receiving touchdown, but didn't get the reception. You know what I'm saying? Like Steve Young had that happen to him. Marcus Mariota's done it, but
Mariota
they all
had that.
caught it. He didn't catch the
Yeah.
ball. That's crazy. Like that's like some voodoo shit. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's crazy, but I mean, yeah, it was great to watch that, those spectacular plays. But overall, I mean, the start of the game, when they had the wrong cleats on, everyone was tiptoeing. It was rough, but I mean, look, home field advantage is a thing. They're building that
Yeah.
billion-dollar stadium, and everyone's bitching that they're not putting a roof on it. I'm like, dude, this is home field advantage, dude. Miami
Yeah.
puts the opposing team in 130-degree heat while they sit in the shade. Like, there's
Yeah.
home field advantage. Get
Yeah.
the fuck over it.
Yeah. I didn't know that Buffalo was building a new stadium. I don't think I ever heard that. They're building a giant, like a new. Yeah, that's perfect because
They're
their fan
building a new
base.
one, and it covers like 70% of the people. Like the roof, or I
Yeah.
guess the structure, covers 70% of the seats. So like a lot of people will be out of the snow
And then the field's
while
still
still
open.
experiencing. Yeah, so I'm like,
That's
that's a
awesome.
great idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. It saves a lot of like maintenance too, like they always be doing, like
Yeah,
the fans
exactly. They
coming.
don't have to
Yeah.
hire 90,000 people to come shovel out the
Yeah.
stadium,
Yeah.
but they could still experience a snow game without sitting in 3 feet of snow. Like you're
Yeah.
comfortable,
Smart.
and you get to watch the game. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. And their fan base is like the best for it. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Monday night.
and we'll close it out with Cleveland at Denver. We both got this one right. Jameis Winston threw for like 500 yards this
This
game, dude.
this was my favorite game of the week, dude. This game was so
Jerry
fun to
Judy
watch.
was
Going
Jerry
off.
Judy wanted revenge so
Yeah.
bad.
Bo Nix got to show off that he is. At the end of the day, he's more good than he is bad. Like he can sling it. He's still mobile against a good defense. Like Miles. Yeah. I don't know. The whole game was just so fun to watch. Jameis
It was a
Winston.
great
Yeah.
game to watch, and I don't know. It's always funny to watch Jay Boogie out there.
I hope he's
Makes
a
me laugh.
starting quarterback next year. I mean, I guess I would lean on that it's not going to happen, but man, I just want to see him start. I want to see him be on a team next year. Like, put him somewhere and just let him sling the rock. It's fun.
There's got to be. I mean, fucking New York could use someone
Yeah,
real
I
bad.
guess. That he
Uh,
would drive Brian Dayball nuts, dude. Like,
I would love to see a Hard Knocks with that one though.
that would be
Dayball
fun.
would just be in the back every day, just this motherfucker.
Throwing pick sixes and shit when it's like the last drive of the game. Yeah, I don't know. But I love Jameis Winston. He's talented. I'm not trying to. He's fucking talented. It almost makes you think like, is he throwing some of these games? Like you know,
You know,
like
he's someone's like his cousin down in like New Orleans is like, hey, I got the money line on the other guys.
yeah.
So with
I
that
think
being
he's from
said,
Bama, but yeah, go on.
yeah. That being said, 8-point swing my way. You got a couple weeks left to bring it back. I could pick very poorly in the next few weeks, and
Damn, you had a great week though. This has got to be your second best week, right? I mean,
the
great
second
week.
best. The only other one is the one that I didn't bet, and I
Yeah.
got them all right.
And that makes me feel like I had a bad week. I had a good week, 13 out of whatever. Yeah, or whatever. Okay.
13 out of 16 is still an amazing rate, but it's just 15 out of 16 is a little bit better.
God damn it. All right, yeah, you're right. So we powered through here to our. Oh, was that pun? Was that a pun intended? Power rankings, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
to our power rankings. Are we doing 5 or are we?
Let's do this. Let's go. Is your 3 the same as last week?
Was my last week?
Oh, mine's not actually. So never mind. Let's just do this. Let's just go. I picked my 5. What did we did last week, right? So my number 5 team. I think the majority of people would actually have them not in the top 5, but I got to do it. I really believe it. I think the Steelers deserve to be the 5th best team in the NFL right now. Their defense is obviously the most, or second or third most elite team in the or defense in the NFL. And I mean, I get it was the Bengals, but Russell Wilson threw for like 400 something. They put up 40 plus points. So that negates the whole their offense can't do shit. So they're like the best defense with like an offense that's capable. You know what I mean? They can beat a lot of teams. I think they can beat any team in the AFC. So yeah, they have. They actually have. They beat us. They beat the Ravens. They didn't play the Chiefs yet, have they? Did they play the Chiefs? I don't think they played the Chiefs.
I don't think so.
But I think they beat the
My,
Chiefs. Aha.
My number 5 is probably a little bit controversial just because of what you did say about the Steelers. I'm going with the Chargers at my number 5. With how
Uh,
well that defense played, I think they're playing some of the best defensive football I've seen in a very long time. I know the last couple of weeks they had a couple slip ups, and yes, they did lose to the Steelers. But correct me, was the game in L.A. or was it in
it
Pittsburgh?
was in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so we'll give them that advantage. But I think they've cleaned things up defensively over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and that was some of the best defensive football I've seen in quite some time. And if they bring that team that played Atlanta anywhere else, you're going to give anybody a run for their
Oh
money.
yeah, I agree with
Um,
that for sure, dude. Our defense looks amazing. We need to put up points, man. I think our offense is better than the Steelers' offense, right? But we just
I
gotta
think
show
your
it.
offense is better. I think you just have a harder time executing when it matters. Um, Jay Herb's awesome QB. He's still relatively young, and I think that Russell Wilson, being a veteran around the league for so many years, it just comes a little bit quicker to him. Once Jay Herb's, gets a little more established, I think he'll be that guy. Um, he's still a young guy though, and his team is pretty young. And y'all just need a good number one wide receiver.
Yeah. Other
Um,
than Ladd, and I mean the Steelers have a more talented players like roster on offense, but I think like Justin Herbert just that much more, can carry us over. But Russell Wilson, amazing man. He just like I said, he's been stagnant, but last week he balled out, so I really can't talk shit about their offense as of right now.
if you have a team with as many options as the Steelers do on the Chargers, I think it's a game
Man,
changer.
dude, give us
So,
Najee and Jalen Warren too. Like holy hell, yeah. So I
so yeah,
appreciate it.
they're my number 5. A little controversial, but I love that defense. I'm a defensive guy, so
I love it. Yeah, and my number 4, which I just said they would lose the Steelers, is still the Chiefs because they only have one loss. Because they're gonna probably get this bye week. They're just rolling. They have that energy. Their defense is also really good. Like you can't negate that. Maybe a step below like the Steelers and I guess us. But we'll see that. We'll play them this week. But yeah, man, Chiefs are my number 4. They're still the number 1 ranked team in the AFC. So
yeah, I agree. They're my number 4 as well. They it's hard to put them below five or below when you only have one loss and
yeah,
you've clinched the playoffs, right?
yeah,
And they also have the Taylor Swift Black Magic and Travis Kelsey. He always looks a little bit better at the end of the season.
yeah. He's been
The
balling
last
actually.
4 or 5 years, I mean, the end of the season, he looks good. Um, and they have a solid, running core. Their defense, like you said, is really good. They just, for some reason, get into these weird situations against much inferior teams that they somehow stay in the game a lot longer than they should have.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So where are we at right now? Are we doing your 4, or did you just do that? You said the same thing.
I think I may have done top 6, to be honest with you.
Wait. So Chargers was your 6,
Chargers is my 6. Sorry.
and then who's your 5th?
Chiefs.
Oh, okay, I follow. So then my did you fuck me up? My bad. No, that's my fault. I kind of zoned out too. My number 3 team is the Philadelphia Eagles. They just beat the Ravens, right? So that's like a really hard team that they just played against. Off the top of my head, I can't think of other teams they played that are really competitive, but Saquon is a fucking nut. And then with that already powerhouse offense that like has the cheat code of the tush push, has AJ Brown who catches a slant route and goes for 60 like 50% of the time at least. Give me the Eagles, man. They're my 3rd ranked team in the NFL right now.
That's fair. That's fair. I know I said I can't see myself putting the Chiefs at 5 or lower, but I guess I did because I did a top 6 for some reason. Cause fuck me, I got a little
I'll,
trigger happy.
I'm gonna put my 6 here too, man.
So I guess that means I'm getting down to my number 4 pick. And that's going to be the Green Bay Packers. They're red hot. Look, they look good. Jordan Love looks great. Their defense is playing solid football. They're winning games, and they don't look sloppy for the most part. So I like Green Bay there.
I like that. I like that. I'm just gonna throw it in there. Packers would be my 6. They would be my
There
sixth
you go.
best team. I think they deserve like fifth, but I reach for the Steelers. Packers. It's hard to pick them or the Vikings, right? But like Josh Jacobs as of late, Jaden Reed as of late, Jordan Love over Sam Darnold as of late. They're productive on offense, so yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
my
they're
sixth.
just they look a lot more fluid. Minnesota's getting into situations where they're very much about to lose the game multiple weeks in a row, and they have a good drive that puts them through, which you respect that. I mean, that's still good football, but at the same time, Green Bay is taking on a good Miami team, and they're beating them, 30-17. So
Yeah. When we get to see
it's
them
not
tonight,
it's close.
we'll get to see them,
Absolutely.
compete against probably our both our number ones. But yeah, they real quick. My number two then is the Bills. Is that your number two?
That is my number two as well.
Yeah, and then obviously we finish off with the
Lions
Lions.
number one. My
Yeah.
number three is the Eagles.
Oh, did we skip
Um,
that? Okay, my bad.
but I think sounds like we have the same top three then.
Yeah, yeah.
Lions, Bills,
Eagles.
Eagles.
Yep. Lions, Bills, Eagles. Which,
So
yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer at that point. I mean, obviously the Chiefs are what 11-1 or fucking 12-1 or whatever, but
yeah. So I guess speaking of records, I mean we can take about 20 seconds to take a look at what the playoff would look like
yeah, real quick.
if the season ended today, which it's not. But if it did, uh, Chiefs and Bills, yep, they've clinched the spot. You got Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, Broncos. If it ended today, no one's clinched in the NFC yet, so it's still up in the air. I just think it's just because top top two are pretty tight.
Yeah,
But we got Lions, Eagles, Seahawks. They're very much in it. Falcons are still very much in it. The Vikings are there. Packers, they're in there as well. Commanders hanging on for dear life. They need to wrap this season up with a solid end and.
yeah. I'd be worried if I was the Commanders. I mean, obviously with the Falcons losing last week and looking ugly, you would think maybe the Bucks are trying to get their way into that division lead. But yeah, the AFC, the only thing we're really eyes on is the seventh seed, dude, and the Colts coming through with that big win. Obviously,
Huge win.
Dolphins got that talent, and the Bengals are acting like they still got a chance. But yeah, I'm really rooting for the Colts here. Obviously, the Broncos are looking good though. But you guys get to play them in a few weeks. It'll be awesome to watch.
Yeah, so yep, that's who's kind of on the bubble here. I think these 8 and 9 spots are interesting to watch. Anything below is getting a little far fetched at that point.
Yeah, what's the
And
what's the Niners record? What does that say there?
5-7,
And then what's the division leads record for NFC West? Go.
that would be 7-5. So
So we
it's
got
possible.
Yeah, it's like even the Niners got a chance of winning that division, dude.
Yeah,
It's very interesting.
they still have a chance, man. The NFC West, man, is still very much open. But yeah, you can see your eliminated guys down here. Patriots with that loss to Indy's out. Jags, obviously they're out as well. Raiders not looking good. And then obviously the Giants have not been playing great.
Yeah,
Panthers
man.
are still somehow in it. Guess that less than 1% chance gives them a sliver of hope.
Yeah, that division's getting stinky, I guess. But yeah, man, fun to talk about playoffs because it's coming up, man, and that's always the best. Playoff football's fun. Hopefully, our teams are both in
Got
it.
to love it. All right, let's go ahead and briefly take a look at this week's games and what we think is going to happen and see if you can poop out my forearm a little bit. All right, tonight's game, we got Green Bay at Detroit. Look, Detroit's our number one picks or number one power ranked team for a reason. And we're both going Detroit tonight.
Yeah, I can't. It's Detroit at home. If Green Bay was at home, I'd really probably would pick Green Bay. It's that close, but yeah.
All right, and then first disparity for the Sunday games, we got Jacksonville at Tennessee. I've got Jacksonville, and you have Tennessee.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's defense is bad enough for Will Levis to have one of those decent games where he throws some yards, catch some
I,
touchdowns. Yeah.
that's fair. Jacksonville, end of that game when Mac Jones was in there, was looking pretty good. I don't know if there was a couple MILFs out in the crowd that he was trying
Hmm.
to kind of impress, but Tennessee, there's a lot of old ladies there. Probably, maybe Mac Jones does his thing. He's gonna get lucky, but I
Was
don't know.
that wait? Wasn't that? I thought that was Zach Wilson that did that, or
I
not?
thought Mac Jones did it too.
Nah,
I
they
know
both
Zach
probably
Wilson
did.
did it, but uh, I think they both did it.
Okay,
But
all right.
Zach Wilson was just a bigger, like just on the spotlight kind of thing. But I don't know. Mac Jones was looking decent. They started to come back in that Houston game, and if they had a little more time, I think maybe things could have ended differently.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be a stinker of a game, but yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm not watching that one. We got New York Jets at Miami. We both got Miami. The way
Fair.
the Jets have been playing, no good. Tua's on the up, and Jonnu Smith looks good, and
Yeah.
Von Achan's solid. So I don't see why it wouldn't go Miami's way.
Exactly.
Atlanta at Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota. We both got that. Um, while they haven't been playing as explosive football, they've been winning games. They've been finding ways to win, utilizing a lot of talent, and I think that's going to continue at Atlanta, who proved that they need to start maybe a quarterback change. I don't know. They don't look good though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're coming off a real rough week, and I think that's it. The narrative's gonna be like Kirk's gonna get benched after this game or something. I see that.
Yeah, there we go. New Orleans at the Giants. New Orleans looks okay. Giants are horrendous. So we
Yeah.
both got New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, Drew Lock, or not? Is it Drew Lock? Yeah, Drew Lock could go off. He's done it before, but yeah, give me New Orleans, man. Alvin Kamara all day, baby.
There we go. Carolina at Philadelphia. Moving on.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to say. I agree.
Cleveland at Pittsburgh. We both
Fun.
got Pittsburgh on this one. I think it's a revenge game at home.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't see them getting swept by Cleveland. I think
No.
that's the best way to put
That's
it,
going
right?
to be tough, right? Revenge game at home. Vegas at Tampa Bay. We both got Tampa Bay. I guess Vegas can throw some yards up, but Tampa Bay is still,
Yeah, yeah.
they're hungry, man. They
And
want
Tampa's
it. They want it bad.
Tampa's defense, man. They're pretty consistent. And they're oversought a lot. They have a good defense, and yeah, give me the Vegas Raiders are gonna get shit on, dude. They can't
There
even
we
win the
go.
games they're supposed to win.
Exactly. Seattle at Arizona. We both looks like we split on this
Yes,
one here. I have
yes.
Seattle. You have Arizona.
I love it.
Yeah. Look, this is also one of those games that could go either way. They're both fighting, but I think Seattle, with wanting to stay as division leaders, and they've been playing good football. So give me
Yeah.
Seattle.
I think Arizona's going to have another dirty, low-scoring game here with Seattle, and those type of games Arizona might prevail, especially coming off the loss that they had last week. This is going to be a big division game. Maybe Arizona's more hungry. I don't know. They're at home. Give me Arizona, baby. Let's go.
All right now.
Bird up.
Buffalo at LA Rams. Look, they're one of the best teams in football. LA, they're a good team. They're just, I don't think they're at Buffalo's level, and I'm sure you agree with me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I picked them. This is like a game though that if there was an upset, I would pick the Rams. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what's your upset you like this week? It's definitely the Rams. I love them, man. They're well ran. But the Buffalo's defense is really good, dude. Buffalo's defense is really good. So I don't know if you limit Puka and Cooper Cup to under like 200 total receiving yards or something like that, which is really true to say because they just eat. Yeah, I got Buffalo, man. They're one of the best teams in the league.
All right, we got Chicago at San Fran. I wanted to kind of lean
Same.
Chicago a
Same.
little bit.
Same.
San Fran's just been a stinky, shitty team, and especially with the CMC loss. I know they picked up. I know they picked someone up. I can't remember who, but I don't think it's enough of a game changer.
Yeah, I know Garendo's expected to play. He's been on the team. Yeah, San Fran. I've lost a lot of these guesses when I picked them, and I don't know. This week is another
Chicago
one.
is very much possible to win
Yeah,
this game.
I agree.
But there's just a few too many stars on San Fran that made it a little difficult for me to choose Chicago. So give me Niners this week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, brother. Debo season.
All right, big game here.
Oh,
LA Chargers
you
at
picked the
Kansas
Chargers.
City Chiefs.
I was certain you were gonna pick the Chiefs here, which I would have respected. I almost picked the Chiefs. Thank God I didn't. I wouldn't live with myself if I picked the Chiefs and you picked the Chargers.
Oh, dude, that would have been like take those fucking jerseys
Yeah.
down right now.
Nah, yeah, I have a feeling this is gonna be a game we win. We held them to like 17 points the first week or something like that. So yeah, this should be one of those. I think we're gonna try to steal a game from them. Even though it probably won't matter because Casey is just getting these random dubs. They're gonna probably win the division, is what I'm saying. But I would love to take one from them here. You know.
I don't see why you can't win this game. Your defense is playing really good football, and again, if that same defense that played last week shows up this week,
Yeah.
you're going to disrupt a lot of things. And look, Ju- Justin Herbert just has to get the ball moving, and then you're going to win this game. So,
Yeah.
give me the Chargers.
Bolts up. Let's get it. And then the final.
All right, final Cincy at Dallas. I think it's pretty obvious. Yes, Dallas has been winning some football games. They did beat the Commanders, which is a huge feat, but I don't think that ball, keeps rolling. I don't think that train's going to keep riding. Cincy can throw up some huge numbers, and I think they can just, at the very least, outshoot Dallas if it comes down to it.
And Chase Brown too, man. He's a dog. I mean, Dowdle's coming off a good game, but I don't know. You haven't really seen much from him all season, so who knows if that wasn't just a Thanksgiving performance, you know what I mean? So shout out Cincy, man. I think they're going to do it. They're going to get this dub
Look, I
finally.
have Chase Brown on my fantasy team, and he's coming clutch for many weeks now, so
Yeah,
he's a dog.
Yeah, he's tough. Good game.
All right, now. So there's a chance you can get a 2-game swing back and be down only 6
Yeah?
if you get this
If I
right.
if I do that each week though, down 6, and then week 15 down 6, week 16 down 6, dude, I'll be winning up by 2 by week 18. End of week 18.
Hey, we still have playoffs, bud.
Oh shit, I forgot
We still
too.
have playoffs, man.
Yeah.
Although I think our playoff choices are probably going to be pretty consistent with one another.
Playoffs, man, I can't wait for playoffs, dude. We should try
Playoffs,
to
I'm excited, man.
figure out like a playoff fantasy thing. I think they do that. We could try to do like a playoff fantasy
We can
league.
do that. We should go to a playoff game. But
If it's like
before we
Chargers
do
at
that,
Ravens, maybe.
I think we have a parlay for the
Yeah.
beautiful people listening at home.
The beautiful people. The beautiful people. Hey.
All right, we got a
hey.
4-legger.
You kick it off, man, because this is how it rolled out. You said the first leg when we were doing it. Go ahead, man.
Let's go David Montgomery Tutty.
I love it. And then, yeah, I like what's his name? Knuckles gets the touchdown. I think Sonic gets over 2.5 receptions, dude. Jahmyr Gibbs, Packers defense is really good run defense wise. I think they're gonna try to get Jahmyr Gibbs wide, maybe throw him a couple flats. And he gets like early in the season he was getting like 6-7 targets a game. So come on.
I'll say, I mean, he gets in the flat quite often. They do utilize him on the screen too, so it's very, very, very much possible.
Love it.
And you know me, I'm a Tutty guy, so let me get the Josh Jacobs Tutty.
Hell yeah. I mean the touchdowns are what I kind of helps parlay, I would say. And I like that one too. Josh Jacobs has been rolling. If there's any weakness, it's the Lions being so injured and their run defense, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they're a really solid team, but I love it. I love it. And then that finishes off with this: Sam Laporta over 38.5 receiving yards. He had a slow
That's
start
easy,
to the
man.
season, but you got a great tight end matchup with him and Tucker Kraft today. I think even off like 1 or 2 catches can get those yards. So
There we
Laporta,
go.
baby.
Plus 800, y'all.
Plus 800, y'all.
All right, all right. Let's ride.
Make some money. We're up like a
Let's
million.
get rich
right now.
tonight. $10 bet gets you 10 million.
Yeah,
That's not plus 800.
if my math is correct.
But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in for another week of Down the Walk podcast. We appreciate y'all sticking with us through this entire season. We're getting towards the tail end, but this is where things get fun. We're getting towards playoffs, y'all. Things are just now heating up. That other shit, that was just a warm up.
Tunawa!
Playoffs. We're talking
Tunawa!
about playoffs.
Tunawa! That's all I gotta say. Tunawa!
That's all you gotta say. And we'll end with this. Quack, quack, quack,
Crack, crack, crack,
crack, craft,
Crack.
mac and cheese.
Craft.
I don't know what I'm saying
Jones.
anymore.
Warren Sapp. Ball sack.
Get the
Ball sack. Worst ending. This is the worst ending we've had.
this is terrible.
Worst ending we've had.
Yeah, week 14, worst ending ever. So demure.
My headphones keep on.